How are you today?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. I'm not too bad.
What's been keeping you busy today? Just work stuff?
Yeah, working this morning and then I got back at like 3. So I've just been trying to figure some stuff out and then, yeah,
Yeah.
that's about it, really. Yeah, it's just work, unfortunately.
Yeah, such is life, right?
Yeah.
But you know, the mood in the camp, the Desolated camp must be pretty good right now. We are, of course, as of today, this time recording, exactly 1 week away from the release of your brilliant new album, Finding Pace. So,
Yeah.
what's the mood like?
It's pretty good, to be honest. It's probably the best it's been in a long time, to be honest. It's I feel like I've missed a week of my life because I've just been doing shift work. So
Uh,
like I was reminded this morning that it's a week till it's out. I thought we were at the beginning of May. We're not. Um, so it's strange releasing an album when you're older because you have so many other priorities, and it's like, oh yeah, that's happening as well. So, but yeah, the mood overall is good. I think people are excited to play shows and play new things.
That's always a really exciting part of it, isn't it? I mean, first I've got to pour one out for shift work because I do it as well. And
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
right, you can lose weeks to that stuff.
Yeah, man, it's horrible. It's horrible. I feel like I've done nothing in like 7 days.
Oh, what? I mean, considering obviously at this point in time, it should all be kind of quite a frantic little bit period of time. Has there been anything specific band related that's been kind of keeping you focused and busy?
So we just did another music video, which I
Hmm.
shot and was kind of in bits of it as well. Uh, and I was editing that for a long time. And then it's just sort of liaising with people at the moment and getting ready to play shows. So we've got the release shows in 3 weeks if the album's out in 1 week, which is pretty cool. That's going to be a big build up. So,
Hmm.
and I mean, from tomorrow, it'll be the only thing I think about. So it's like, yeah, and we're playing on Sunday in Manchester.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like my mind just focuses on one thing. And then from tomorrow, we're doing the reshoots for the next music video, and then it'll be editing it, and then it will be release day on Friday. So I reckon from Monday it will just be
Hmm.
frantic.
It's great that it's not crazy busy right now. Then stuff's going on. It is a long period of build, and that your head's slowly kind of getting used to what's going to be a fun, hopefully fun week next week overall. Because this new album has been a long time coming, and to say it
Yeah,
is much anticipated is to underplay how excited people are for. We should remind everybody it's May 30th, 2025, via MLVLTD. The singles gone down an
yeah,
absolute treat.
yeah.
So,
People seem to really enjoy them.
no kidding, right? Like just like you go in the comment section on YouTube and all of that kind of thing, and it can be a mess over there. But when you
Yeah,
find it as
yeah, yeah,
predominantly positive, it's really, really cool. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation. Seeing that response to the singles, does that help kind of ease your mind as how you think the full album might be received?
yeah. It does. It does. But I tell you what, it is a lot harder to pinpoint where you're at these days
Hmm.
because I think the last time we properly released was 2019 or 18. And then everything went on YouTube first.
Hmm.
So you got like a bombardment of comments. Whereas now people listen on Spotify first because it comes out at midnight before.
Yeah.
So they listen to it on there, but there's no comment section. So you're kind of just looking at numbers. Whereas before it was very clear how people thought about it. Now it's like because I think people use YouTube for a different form of media now. I definitely do. I mean, I watch loads of stuff on YouTube, but I just watch like people building camera rigs and stuff like that, which 10 years ago I wouldn't have done. I don't think it was even on there. So, and it's all sort of like vlogs and things like that. Whereas
Yeah.
I remember YouTube being the home of the music video. I used to sit on there for hours just watching bands. Whereas now I just do it on Spotify. So you don't have the
Hmm.
comment section to like rely on anymore. You've obviously got Instagram, but that's only now because there's algorithms. It's not reaching everyone. It's just very different.
Mm,
And I'm not going to say it's worse or anything like that. It's just I didn't realize how much times have changed.
yeah. Have you, do you find yourself getting stuck on the numbers in particular? Or are you able to kind of detach yourself from that side of things?
Yeah, I can sort of walk away from it because I don't really understand them. Like you get all of the Spotify analytics come through, and
Mm.
to me, it doesn't really mean anything. I mean, someone asked for it in regards to a tour once, and he was like, "Oh, these are really good," and I was like, "Yeah, are they?" Um, so yeah, like it's I'm really excited to release it, and I'm really excited for people to hear the whole thing because I think the rest of the album is great. I think the two
Mm.
singles we released is great. Um, but I'm more excited about other tracks on the album.
Okay. Okay. What was there what was the decision behind the single choices? Was it kind of just a group thing, like advice from the label, that sort of thing?
So we all wanted to release Bite Down first. I think everyone was very much on board with that.
Yeah.
And then we wanted to release Lessons second, but the problem is I wanted to do a music video for it, but it was finding the time to do it. So and I think Charlie was very into Glass Ceiling from the label and also the drummer, and he was like, "No, let's do this one." So we did that one second. But I like some of the other tracks more. For me, I just think there's other ones on there that I enjoy more. But I'm also aware that I wrote that song 5 years ago, so I've listened to
Hmm.
it so many times before it's actually out. And it's like, oh, but there's all these new exciting songs that I wrote a year ago that I'm still way more excited about.
Of
So
course.
and I think like because it's taken such a long time to really finalize the thing with people being away and stuff, it's some of the tracks were written a lot longer ago than more recent. So like the ones that I'm most excited about are like the ones that I wrote within the last year
Yeah.
or a year and a half. And Bite Down was a newer one. I just
That
really
makes
like that
sense.
song. It's just it's just fun.
Just it just hits you right.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, we got to go back a little bit because like the end feels like a lifetime ago, and a lot has obviously happened since that album was released, both internally and externally. I mean, so much going on. If you can sum up the past few years for Desolated, in particular, challenges you faced.
Well, we changed the vocalist, and I
Mm,
think he sort of I mean, I think looking back on it, I feel like he clocked out a lot earlier than he left.
hmm
Um, that's the way it felt to me, and I think he was really enjoying it, and I think he found like historically it was always his thing. Like that was
mm,
what he had. That's what he liked. He was very into the band as a whole, and then I think he found meaning in life doing other things, and really enjoyed them. And obviously, a dedicated like essentially 15 years of his life
mm.
to just working random jobs and singing in a band. And I think now he's sort of found more that he wants to do. That's become more of a priority for him. And I think we were all very like, okay, well, we've all got the things that we thought we wanted to do, like career wise, and now we just want to like fuck them off and go on tour, really. Um, Whereas it wasn't like that for him because I think he's just entered the exciting part of his sort of career. Like, he's working in music still, so
Yeah.
he's very excited about it. So obviously we had to change that, which was the biggest thing.
Mm,
Um, and I think I don't like to make things a big deal. I think that people like bands especially milk stuff a lot. Like they'll do the last ever shows, they'll make it a big thing. Oh, it's the last one to this singer. Like I just wanted it to be kind of more of a seamless transition
mm.
because ultimately vocals we've replaced guitarists and stuff like that. And I think although Paul was an extremely unique vocalist,
Mm.
it's like we just wanted the band to continue. So and Tony obviously has been singing for years as well. So it just made sense to do a switch and then just continue. And I think it worked pretty well. I think there's a few people that are a bit sort of probably not as into it because he was very unique. I mean, I don't know
Mm.
many people that sounded like him, and I think that people liked the end a lot. Um, that was definitely his best work. So yeah, that was like a big thing, but I think it was made small by the sort of way that we did it. We didn't want to make it small. We didn't want to kind of like undo his legacy,
Of
but we
course.
also didn't want to make the whole band be like, how are we ever going to carry on? We just wanted to sort of show the fact that we're strength and we're just determined to continue.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, you sum that up so wonderfully in the sense of like how things just carried on, and there was never really any doubt. I think even from a listener, a fan perspective, that Desolated would continue. But did you have any moments where you thought, okay, you know, pandemics going on, this has happened, life is so busy, making music can't really be a full-time job, at least, you know, financially, and you thought, okay, this maybe isn't going to carry on. Did you have those any moments like that?
I mean, I'm quite self-critical as a person, so I think I have those moments a lot. But I also don't always trust my own judgment, and
Mm.
I have to understand that my feelings towards things are normally quite temporary, and just I think, like I said before, it's so hard to judge where you're at as a band these days.
Mm.
I think, and I think we don't play as many shows as we once did. And when we do, they're awesome. Like they're normally
Mm.
really good, but it's hard to gauge where you're at. I think, and I don't know if other bands sort of experience that,
Yeah.
and other people experience it. But I think where I'm so sort of like driven, I find it just kind of hard. So I'm always sort
Mm.
of like, oh, is it worth continuing? Isn't it? But then ultimately, I have a word with myself and go, yeah, definitely. But it just takes like a show. And I think when you have like 3 weeks away from it, 4 weeks,
Yeah.
I mean, I start being like, oh, we need to do more. We need to do more. But it's also so hard to get people together when you're all adults. Like
Yeah.
when I was young, it was like writing music was so easy because I had so much time. Now it's like I don't have time. And I'm the sort of person that if I write, I want to dedicate a day to it.
Right.
Whereas I'm not someone who can just get home and be like, oh, I'm going to play my guitar today.
Yeah, trying to get all those schedules together, right? And just get a point where everybody can sit down, work together, you can
Yeah,
focus your mind. It's you're absolutely right. It is something that gets harder when you get older.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's just very difficult to really focus. I mean, there's so much noise in the world anyway, and
Oh,
there's so much noise
absolutely.
everywhere you go, and dealing with
Mm.
loads of stuff constantly to just be able to put yourself in a mindset where you can write is not always that easy.
Mm. Do you have any kind of like what's a process for you now in regards to writing? Like it's taking all that into account. What do you do?
I think for me, I have like spurts of ideas, and
Hmm.
that's when I sort of become alive with creativity. I'm like, oh, I've got an idea for a song,
Yeah.
like, and then I can churn out a song in like a couple of hours and be like, that's it. But I'm waiting for those bursts of creativity. I think that for like Les, who's sort of quite a big writer in the band, and same with Charlie, they're more
Mm.
like planned. I mean, Charlie obviously is going to be because Malevolence, they have it set up like a job. They
Yeah.
write in that way of this is our job. We need to write an album. Let's all meet up. I assume they do. I mean, I've never actually spoken to them about it, but they seem to.
Mm.
Um, and I think Les is more like, right, let's spend some time writing today. But for me, like, I always find if I'm not in the right headspace for it, it's like a waste of time almost.
Mm.
Like, I'm like, well, I don't want to do this. I just want, but then when I've got ideas, I can just be like, bang, 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 bang. And then I'll just tend to go on a roll for like a couple of weeks and then it will simmer off again.
Right. When it comes to those sort of spurt bursts, do you get a focus? For example, what I mean is, say this new album. when the earliest writing process started for it, did you have a vision? Did you know, okay, this is going to be part of a record further down the line, a potentially an album, and this is the direction that we're going in?
I think so because I wanted to write the end part two. That was
Mm.
my thing. I was like, okay, and like that's kind of what the theme is, like finding peace. It's like after all of this sort of like trauma from the end, which was what that was about, and you like get through your struggles, then how do you find peace? Because you still got all those feelings. And I wanted to make it like, I think because we did the EP Round with Misery, but it felt, even when we were releasing it, it felt kind of rushed. And I thought
Mm.
with this one, I don't know how, but we managed to stand the test of time to some degrees. I think when like hardcore bands are able to put out records so quick, they do so well. Um, but like we would when we toured America, I think in 2023, maybe or 22, I can't remember, but it was like I was like, oh my god, there's so many kids here, like, and it's like they're still there,
Yeah.
and that was what made me really realize that it's like these kids love these songs off the end. This is the ones that they like. These are the ones that I like as a musician. I mean, like Trapped Under Ice are my favorite band, and I think that's what that was really inspired by, to be honest. Although it's tuned ridiculously low and so much
Mm.
like kind of heavier in a way, like Trapped Under Ice, the way that they write is just so inspiring. So I was just like, I want to write that style. Like that's what I want to write. I want it to be bouncy. I want it to be aggressive, and I want it to be like really hard, but also kind of fun. Like I want people to have fun when they listen to it and be like, this is just pissed off songs.
It's something that translates us to the live scene as well. You did the Palefest Swiss gigs
Yeah,
earlier in the year, and we were there for those. The London show was insane.
that was busy. That
It was great,
yeah,
great show
yeah,
though.
yeah. Oh, do you know what I was really impressed by in that show? Yeah, they managed to get like, I think when we started playing, there must have been like maybe 800 people in that room. To get 800 people into a room in Brixton in
Yeah.
half an hour, top tier. Well impressed by them
Just
security
boom,
lot.
boom, boom,
I
get
was
in.
like, how? How? When they told us we were on half an hour after doors in Brixton, I was like,
Yeah.
there's no way anyone is going to be there. They're going to be searching people properly. And then just all in. I was like,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. Yeah, it was actually super, super quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Props to those guys.
Yeah.
Um,
Shout
going back
out
to
to
kind of what you
security.
was, yeah, going back to what you were sort of saying about like, the hardcore scene, particularly the modern hardcore scene, and seeing the sort of new wave of bands that are doing things, particularly in the gaps where you haven't been releasing anything. How much of the modern hardcore scene did you kind of look at and use as motivation for what you were doing in this album?
I think a fair bit. Like,
Mm.
I think like Pain of Truth are probably the best hardcore band to come out in such a long time. I think that band is awesome. I thought Gridiron were amazing. Like that album they did was really good, and it made and like they kind of brought back that hard bouncy sound, and that was sort of like I was like, oh, because for a long time things shifted, and like the heavier sound was kind of like fizzling out, and it was very like metalcore was huge, but now hardcore is on its wave,
Yeah.
and it's like hard. It's like hard hardcore, and I was like, wow, like now's the time really to start releasing stuff because everything's so like beatdown heavy.
Yeah, you're not
And,
wrong.
and I'm
There has
very
been a
impressed.
shift.
And I'm very impressed by bands in London and places like that, and all over the UK making like beatdown kind of cool again.
Mm.
Because it definitely had its time in the sort of early 2010 mark, but then it was slowly fizzled out. But like I think there's so many good bands like Life of One from London, Impunity, Last Wishes. They're just so hard, and it's great.
I agree. And we've got the venues for it as well across the UK. I mean,
Yeah,
like, we really do. But yeah, you're absolutely right. There is a shift. going
Yeah,
back to that style, and it's fantastic to see.
yeah, definitely. It's amazing.
So go back to the album. When you kind of look at the entire process, what particular areas, from a writing and a recording stance, what areas did you find yourself personally challenged this time around?
Um, from a writing stance, I think albums are generally genuinely more difficult because
Mm,
like you run into that sort of filler track area, um, which I get because I think a lot of bands that are current and very sort of pushing the way have to release quickly to maintain their hype. And I mean, this isn't, unfortunately, I mean, I would love it to be, but it's not like our life's priority. So we spend a lot more time. And I think I just didn't really want to have any filler tracks on there. I
hmm
didn't want to just be like, oh, let's get to the end of it and just get it out.
Chuck a few in, yeah.
So it took longer, and I think that was my biggest thing was time. And I felt
Mm.
like every year we were going to record it, and then it was like some of the tracks need work. That was the biggest thing is just time. But yeah, I didn't. What was the other bit of the question? There was another bit.
Yeah, it was the recording process as well, from the recording process to challenging that part of things.
The recording process wasn't bad, but it
Mm.
it was difficult because we're all part from different parts of the country.
Yeah.
So Charlie recorded the drums in Sheffield, and then I tracked all of the guitars, bass, and vocals at mine. But Tony now lives in Sheffield, so he was traveling down quite a lot to get things done. Um, which was kind of difficult, and also just tracking stuff because we sent it to Will Putney to produce
Yeah.
it, and like he's like the best person to do that sound. Like he's so good, and I was like, I really hope I get this right, and I was
Mm.
quite stressed by it because I'm not an engineer or anything like that. I just thought, there's no need to go to a studio to record DIs. Anyone can record DIs. So
Mm.
I did it all, but actually it was a lot more difficult than I first anticipated.
Kind of off-putting in the sense that next time you might not want to do that way.
I probably would do it again because now I I know what not to do.
Fair.
Um, and I think it was a really the 2 weeks leading up to sending it off for the deadline was like really stressful just because there was so
Mm.
much left to do, and I didn't really quite take into account how long it would take to record it all and have it all edited. I think that was one of the big things. But now I feel like I've kind of understand the process and would set aside one more time and just I have my way of doing it now. Whereas that was the first one really that I'd ever sent off, so that was quite difficult really.
So
And it was
worth
quite
it though in the end.
yeah, well worth it. And to be honest with you, like it saves so much money
Yeah.
than going and sitting in a studio and like time off work and things like that. Like just being able to do it at home, get it done. And I mean, like I said, if I did it again, I would dedicate probably, I would just start earlier and have it all done earlier because I think I was working right up until the deadline.
Well, what will you do? We kind of like, was it you coming in from work, you jumping straight into it, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I was on
Mm.
training for a week and traveling to Broadmoor for a week.
Yeah.
And I was getting back at like 6 and then just recording every day till sort of like 10 and then editing right up until the last day. And I was like, oh my God, this is really cutting it fine.
It all worked out in the end, though.
Yeah, it did. And I feel like stress builds character, right?
What about when you look back at the entire process, the creation of this album? What are some of your sort of favorite memories, moments that either, I don't know, maybe challenged you in a really positive way, or just that you really enjoyed?
I enjoyed writing with people. I think
Mm.
that was a big thing because like a lot of the time before it was mainly me. I think people sort of dipped in and stuff. And then when we did the end, it was me and the drummer Tommy. And when Charlie joined, he had such a big part, and so did Les. So it was really nice to write with people because like my guitar skills aren't that good. I'm not
Mm.
the best guitarist. I'm much better at like arrangement, whereas Les is like top tier guitarist. So that combination works really well. And obviously Charlie's an incredible drummer and like very good at writing lyrics.
Mm.
So we kind of just like bounced off each other and just like recording and like constantly recording demos and just having a laugh. I just enjoyed that so much.
Just a better, more unity, a better,
Yeah,
I don't, yeah.
yeah. It feels like more of a band now.
Mhm.
It feels
Well,
like there's way more of a band.
I should be noted as well, of course, there's a couple of collaborations in the album, right? As well, we've got Nine Bar Whispers, D Block, three immensely
Yeah.
unique guests. And that collaboration seems to be quite important for Desolated. How important is it for you? Especially, and I'm going to use a word here, just a word that might make you feel a bit old, but as you slip into the elder role within the hardcore scene, does that collaboration become more important for you?
Um, I don't know really. I've never really thought about it. I think like I've always liked having guest vocals,
Mhm.
but we've never had that many because we kind of just leave it to the last minute and then no one can do it. Um, and I sort of forget that not everyone can just like record in their living room.
Fair.
So, so a lot of the people we asked were like, "Oh, when do you need it by?" And I was like, "I don't know, next week." And they're like, "No." Um, but I am really happy about like the people we got on it. Like I think D Block I just found on Spotify. Thought it was
Mm,
so sick, and we obviously asked him, and he was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And then Whispers, we've known for a really long time, and it's good to see them doing so well. And Nine Bar
yeah.
is obviously like London classic, so that was like a big thing as well. So it's been really nice to be honest.
Yeah, I thought it was so cool. I just thought the variety in the guests, I thought it was so cool. I wasn't aware D Block was pre this guest as well, so it's kind of learning something new there too.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, for me with D Block, I just used to listen to like I don't know, like a Pain of Truth record in the gym or
Mm.
whatever, and then at the end of it, Spotify starts playing all these random artists, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And D Block would always come on, and there's that song where it's like D Block, motherfucker, and I'd be like, oh, this is so fucking sick, and I think his vocals are amazing.
Yeah.
He's got like a really, really good sound behind his vocals, so that was like a really cool one to be honest.
Yeah, fits. It's a banging track, but it's a banging album. It's
Yeah,
a
cheers, man.
killer record. Um, do you have what do you hope listeners take away from it?
Um, I mean, I always hope that listeners kind of take away meaning from it, but then at the same time, I know that with the amount of stuff that comes out, that's not always going to happen. But like, and I mean, I like to write records that are they don't appear to be deep, but like they mean something. Like
Mm.
there's a whole sort of meaning behind it, and I like it when people figure it out. I like people when they go, oh yeah, this means this, and this is what this is. Like, I mean, I think finding peace is a lot more straightforward than the end. The end is a lot more like difficult and
Mm.
kind of hard to work out what's going on. But I think Finding Peace is the follow up to that record, and there is meaning with it. It's just figuring out what it is.
Mm.
And I think although it is kind of straightforward and the lyrics are a lot more like snappy and straightforward, it's just more direct. You have more of a feeling of what the tone is.
Well, how do you find peace?
Well, that's it. You don't.
Mm.
Like, and that's how I feel. It's like you don't because you're constantly trying to find peace, but then you've got everything going on around you. You get
Right.
pissed off. I mean, for me, I just get pissed off all of the time. So it's kind of like, how do you find peace? And that's what I wanted it to be about. I wanted it to be about this ongoing struggle of like, okay, you've gone through the hardships of life and then you're on the other side, which obviously is the end. You get to the end and you move forward into actual normality, but then you've got to find peace. And how do you
Mhm.
find peace when everything around you is just it's a nightmare? You just get pissed off all the time.
Yeah, you just need those moments to where you can just, I don't know, walk away, step into a different environment. Even if a live show, for example, is a good one where
Yeah,
just
yeah,
for
of course.
an hour and a half, that's the only thing you're focusing on for that time.
Yeah, yeah, and I wanted it to be sort of like you're trying to find peace, and then these things happen, and each kind of song is kind of about those things. It's like those things that stop you getting peace because they just
Mm.
annoy you.
And there's a lot of it out there.
Yeah,
We're out of time, but I got one more quick question just to
yeah,
wrap
go
this
on.
up. It's simply this live shows you mentioned it before. There's one particularly that's special for me because it's my hometown in London, June 7th, the
Brilliant.
Underworld.
Yeah,
It's going to be carnage, right?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. I'm looking forward to it. It's at the
Hell yeah.
Underworld. I think Underworld is one of the best venues in London, so I'm very excited to play there.
Yeah, it's going
Um,
to be a sweatbox.
yeah, I hope so. I really do. I think it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm
Yeah,
looking forward
same.
to it. I
Can't
think
wait.
it's yeah.
But not only that as
So
well, finding peace, May 30th, 2025 via MLVLTD. It is an incredible album, a return to form, and I suspect it's going to be hugely successful for you, and I hope everybody loves it.
yeah.
Rich, thanks so much for taking the time to speak
Thank
with
you
me.
so much.
Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.